Hello there, YouTube. 13 Dragon Blade. Coming at you with my second Force of Will deck profile. This has been the second profile that I've made, but, for Force of Will related anyway. I have tons of Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos relating to older decks that I used to run, as well as new decks. This one in particular is one of my favorite decks. It's probably my second favorite deck out of the Force of Will category. So we're going to just jump right in. We're going to go with Ruler and Stone lineup first, and then I will pull the deck box back out and I will go into the deck. But right now, let's discuss the Ruler and the Stones. So Pricia is your Ruler. Pricia is the only one that I've seen recently that has had a Grim-esque effect. What I mean by this is that it can use any color stone, whether it be red, blue, yellow, green, black. It can use any color stone to bring out any Sacred Beast, which is really important in this deck because all the Sacred Beasts have different colors. So her other effect as well proves when she's a J ruler. This is when you turn her, you pay her Awakening, which is only 2. Then we go to Judgment, and we go to the J ruler side. First of all, just 4 abilities that happen when either she's out or while she's face up. While she is out on the field, she gains target attack, she gains swiftness, and she gains flying, as well as 2/2. She gains the 2/2 from a green resonator that you control. She gains swiftness from a red resonator that you control. She gains flying from a blue resonator, and she gains target attack from a yellow resonator. That being said, she comes out as a 8/8, but then immediately boosts herself up to 1,000,000. 1,000,000 is typical J ruler stats, very normal. Her god art is as follows. You can pay 3 green and then 1 colorless, and it can be however many colorless you pay. Depending on the number, will mean you can bring out that many Sacred Beasts. I'll give you an example. Say you pay 3 green and then another green on top of the colorless effect. You get 1 Sacred Beast. If you pay 3 green and then 2 extra colorless of any color, then you get to bring out 2, and so on and so forth. That's basically how her effect works. You can only use God Arts obviously once per game, which is fine, it makes it fair. And she's a really good ruler. She's actually my favorite female of the series. So, that being said, that's your ruler. Your stone lineup, one of the Sacred Beast stone. Once it enters, it either comes in rested, or you can reveal a Sacred Beast and it comes in like this, which is normal. Then you can tap it to either produce green, or you can tap it like this to have a beast or sacred beast resonator that you control, J slash resonator, that you control, gain 2/2, which is very important for making pushes. Then we have 3 Gusting Sky stones. This is just a colorless stone lineup. I didn't bother with like any special stones besides this one. It's pretty basic. It's just for the lion or tiger. It's just for the tiger, really. 4 blasting waves because we are maining thunder, and thunder is good to have early game, so we want to see this stone the most. So you run it at 4. Then 2 deep wood again because it's just another green stone, but it's green and blue, so it's whatever. All right, so that's basically your stone lineup. Now we have the main deck, which, as you can see, the first thing you see is Familiar of Holy Wind. Freaking love that card. In almost every single one of my decks, he's in it. 3 Familiar of Holy Wind. When it enters, you draw a card. Its other effect is you can tap it and pay 1 green. You can then sack it and deal 300 damage to a Resonator. It's a pretty solid card, very easy 1-drop, and draw power. So it replaces itself upon its summon, which is really good. And this deck lacks draw power as it is, so every time you get a draw, it is worth your life. 2 Survivor of Issei. Really good beast. As long as you control another one, it gains plus 4/4, so it comes out as a 6/6 1-drop, which is amazing. But obviously it goes down, and it doesn't count itself, which is kind of sucky, but it's only good to drop early game. One of this guy, I might actually bump him up to 2. Sprinting Wolf is a really good beast. It's a 2/2 6/5 with target attack. Target attack, if you don't know the keywords, I'll go over it real quick. The ones that matter in this deck anyway are flying, first strike, target attack, swiftness, and that's about it. Target attack means that you don't have to wait for a resonator to be like this to swing into it. You can swing at a resonator that's like this in this position. That's basically what it means, and you can target whatever you want. I think that that's pretty obvious, but just in case for people that don't know the keywords. The Slayer of the Overlord Persia. This is the one that got possessed by Valentina, sadly. That's her shift side, but she's possessed by Valentina. Then I just decided to test her at 1. She's been doing okay. She's a 2 drop, 1 green, 1 colorless, and her effect is as follows. When she enters the field, she and a J slash resonator, yes, J slash resonator deal damage to each other. And when they do, you can also boost her up by +1/+1 for every colorless that you pay for her summon. So, I mean, you could make her big enough to kill something, but it's just like a burn effect. It just happens when she comes upon the field. 3, Pursuer of the Exploding Flame Persia. This is the BB, the big bitch, the one that you're going to use a lot. It's got swiftness, it's got target attack, it's got first strike, it's got flying if you pay green, and if it is put from the field to the graveyard, inflict 500 to your opponent. That's a mandatory effect. So she basically is your best creature by far. So you want to keep her out on the field for long, and sometimes you use her to end games. I've actually ended a few games just because of her burn effect. Then we have the Sacred Beast combo. We have 2 bird and 2 turtle. I'll go into the other 2 in just a minute, but the reason we played 2 bird and 2 turtle is because you're already playing a bunch of these resonators. As it is, I'm probably going to put in another sprinting wolf, and the Persia I might take out would be this one, because this one's not really as good as the Pursuer, but I probably would take her out because just the wolf is a really solid 2 drop. This is a 2 drop that inflicts burn damage to a resonator that your opponent controls for every sacred beast. So if it comes out, it just inflicts 2. If you control another one like the turtle, it inflicts 4, which is it's kind of funny because these stack on each other. So if you bring out a bird and then you bring out another bird, you actually do 4 to a resonator. So you bring out 2, you bring out another one that's 4/6. It might kill the resonator outright. This is a pretty unique one. It bounces stuff, which I thought was pretty interesting. Upon entering the field, you can bounce a resonator your opponent controls equal to the number. So, for instance, this is a 2 drop. If you have him out, he bounces a 1 drop by himself. But if you have the bird out, or another sacred beast, just for an example, or 4 sacred beasts, whatever you want to call it, you can bounce 2. And then if there's 3, you bounce 3 costs and all that stuff. It's actually a really good card. Really solid, what is it, 3 drop. Then we have 2 Quinlong and 2 Baihu. Baihu is okay. It's just another wolf, really. It just costs more. It's a 3 drop. Upon entering, it gains life for you, which is really good. I'm going to be paying some just in case. Or taking some, I should say, because at first you want to get your 1 drops as quick as possible, and then start with your wolf and like getting in there for damage and all that stuff. Quinlong just gives you a card. Once you drop it, if you control a 4 Sacred Beast, you get a card. He doesn't count himself, which is fine. Then you can pay 1 colorless and boost all of them up by 200. Not himself, but the others, which is really important. You want to boost up your other Sacred Beasts as much as you can to make them incredibly huge beaters. Alright, so then for the Regalia, we play 4 Flute of the Sacred Beast. Really good card. You tap it to produce 1 colorless to spend only for 4 Sacred Beast cards, so upon summon. Its other effect is when your J Ruler, you can make your J Ruler gain +2/2, and it gains Imperishable. Then you can banish this card and send it to the graveyard, and you can make it go back to the ruler side. So basically, this saves Persia, and it makes it easier for you to pay for your Sacred Beasts. That's why the flute is really good. You need to run it at 4, you don't have a choice. 3 Thunders. I wish I had room for 4, but the spells slash chants that you play in here really, really, really good. And this card is just really good. It's won me a couple games. Thunder. That's all I gotta say. Perseus Call to Action. Really good card. If you play it on a beast, it's actually free. When you play it, it gives the target attack and swiftness, which is great. Plus, it makes you draw a card, so it replaces itself. I thought that was pretty handy. Three rapid growth. This is a beast deck slash green deck. You should already play rapid growth in a green deck. It's like mandatory. Boosting your dudes up is always nice, but doing it twice from the graveyard, that's amazing. Plus, it just costs one, so why not play it? Not two, three Zeeks. You want to stop those summons. You want to make your dudes untargetable. You want to you want to boost your dudes up by 200, 200. The cards just got multiple uses. It's so good. Two keen sense because I don't like thunder and any other shit that I don't like going off. One Issei of the Ancient Forest. You only play one because you play two Wind Secluded Refuge. This card's infinitely better, and I would run it at three, but I like the Issei boost that the beasts and the four sacred beasts get. It just helps you get in there for damage. And two, Blessing of Yggdrasil. I found that stone lineup, at least this one, cannot power through the Magic Stone deck. So during early game, you're gonna want to have Blessing of Yggdrasil. It's just a good card, and it helps you get to your combo pieces easier. So that being said, card of the night is definitely Familiar of Holy Wind. It's 13 Dragon Blade signing off.